Hello everybody, my name is Dingus. Welcome to the very first episode of Shut Up Dingus. Today's topic is why Donald Trump is good for America. Before I start this episode, I would just like to start by saying I voted for Bernie Sanders. And since my guy lost, well, just fuck everybody. Now, I'm not gonna give you your typical speech of he's gonna make America great again. I'm trying to explain that through Donald Trump, the public realizes how broken the American capitalist democracy is. So thank you very much, and here we go. Pandering. 81% of evangelicals voted for Donald Trump. Yet Donald Trump has been on record mocking his vice president, Michael Pence, by stating to people who visited him, and I quote, "Did he make you pray today?" And I would assume Donald Trump would be more than happy to pray to any god that got him into office. He has also repeatedly put a man by the name of Michael Simonet onto his Blacks for Trump rally stage. Now, Michael Simonet is a member of the Nation of Yahweh, which is responsible for 14 murders, arson, and extortion. These are both prime examples of pandering to a crowd of people, telling them what they want to hear so they vote for you. Rhetoric versus experience. So, I'm just going to quickly go over Hillary Clinton's resume versus Donald Trump's resume for president. Hillary Clinton was First Lady of the United States for 8 years. She was then a New York Senator for another 8 years. She was the U.S. Secretary of State for 4 years. And she graduated from Yale Law School in 1973. She was the first female law partner at Rose Law Firm in 1979. Alright, now Donald Trump, on the other hand, had a bachelor's of economics from the Wharton School of the University of Pennsylvania back in 1968. And he became the president of the Trump Organization from 1971 to 2017 when he became president. He also hosted The Apprentice for 12 years, and he is currently the 544th richest person in the world. So, just going by those statistics, it kind of seems to me Hillary should have been a shoo-in. Also, I'm going to go on about the disasters. She is consistently egging on North Korean's man-child leader, Kim Jong-un, likely to start a war, possibly injuring or killing millions of people in South Korea or Japan. In Texas, during Hurricane Harvey, it was quoted that the president didn't meet a single storm victim. He did not see an inch of rain or get near a flooded street. In Florida, during Hurricane Irma, the Trump Organization was quoted by saying, to discuss the cause and effects of these storms, there's a place and time to do that. It's not now. Also, for Puerto Rico, they were hit with a massive hurricane. 91% of the island, 91% of the island had no electricity. He blamed them for not helping. He congratulated himself by getting himself an amazing grade. Elon Musk, the president of Tesla, came in and gave the Children's Hospital free electricity. With all the money and power of Donald Trump, Elon Musk had to come and give free electricity to little kids in a hospital. So, again, experience versus just saying you're going to go ahead and do something and then following through horribly. Money versus morals. And through various actions, Donald Trump has proven that he has money in mind when making decisions and not the people's best interest or the heart of the country. This is how. Here we go. So our Vice President, Michael Pence, cast the tie-breaking vote against allowing consumers to band together to join class action lawsuits against corporations. So for instance, if your car's brakes go out and the car gets into a wreck, everybody who bought that car has to now hire their own separate lawyers instead of coming together now and suing them all in one lawsuit. Michael Pence was awarded $250,000 from the lobby corporation to cast that vote. They have also given billionaires tax break incentives to bring their monies back from their overseas. Big corporations take their monies overseas and they never bring it back, such as Walmart, Big Pharma, oil companies. So now the government has decided to give them a holiday window. This is reducing their taxes from 35% down to 5%. And if you are unaware, that money is then distributed onto the taxpayer and small corporations like mom and pop shops and domestic businesses. Also, the Trump administration has blocked a vote to disclose why Big Pharmacy is priced the way it is. Big Pharma no longer has to disclose why their medications are priced the way they are. Also, federal lawmakers blocked Senate legislation to allow Americans to purchase lower-priced, FDA-approved medicines from Canada. A quote from Donald Trump himself saying, and I quote, "We are cutting regulations bigly. We are really cutting them by massive amounts." End quote. They put into act a law that oil companies do not have to disclose who and how much they are transacting with when they are trading with foreign nations. Meanwhile, Donald Trump has gone on record as saying, and I quote, "I like nepotism," which is obvious as he appointed his son-in-law Jared Kushner as his senior advisor, his daughter Ivanka Trump as a presidential advisor, and he also uses his powers to pardon an obvious racist who breaks the Supreme Court's law, Sheriff Arpaio. Finally, to conclude the money versus moral segment, I would like to point out that Betsy DeVos, who he made head of education, has offered to do a $9.2 billion cut to federal education for American education. $9.2 billion cut from American education. I'm not sure how that helps any American, but that's what his head of education has proposed. And that's why Donald Trump's for big corporations and billionaires and not for the average hardworking American. The Illuminati. Okay, this is where I'm probably going to lose most of you. But yes, I'm into conspiracy. Sorry, I've been around too long not to notice that there's a lot of rich people keeping a lot of lower class people down there. So I just first off by saying that he is exposing this stuff. Donald Trump and his administration is exposing stuff such as appointing the head of education and then cutting education. Seems very silly to me. Also, just a few other points of fact. Fast food is still cheap as fuck. How the hell is there a $1 menu still? Or even a $2 menu? How in the world is McDonald's food still so cheap if everything else is going up? You remember the old saying, if minimum wage goes up, everything goes up? Well, wouldn't that be true for McDonald's food and Burger King and Taco Bell and all these fucking, all these dollar menu crap bag factories? Also, I believe that they are trying to manipulate us by giving us shorter attention spans. I have found out through the years my focus has diminished incredibly. I blame cell phones, the internet, apps like Vine or Snapchat. I think it's definitely taking away from Americans finding hobbies I think it's hurting social interactions. I don't think people are interacting as much as they should be or are in a healthy manner. These are all, again, just personal observations from my life. I find out that all these short attention spans really hurts motivation a lot. People expect things faster, so it's harder to work for it. And relaxation. I think it's a little bit harder for this generation to relax. To take it easy, not have to be so stressed out and worried. The Illuminati is keeping the American poverty rate at 15%. I mean, you can go anywhere from 11 to 15%. That's the highest one I went off of because I'm trying to make a point here, obviously. 1.56 million Americans are in poverty right now. 0.5% of Americans are homeless and 4.4% are unemployed. I don't know if those are good numbers. They don't sound very good to me. The Trump administration has not passed a single law to raise minimum wage. There is currently $1.3 billion in overseas tax havens that they pay less than 1% in taxes. There is currently over $76 billion in American money overseas in tax havens. Those companies have saved $3.5 billion in taxes. They keep employees poor, so they stay on citizen taxpayer-funded food stamps. There is currently $153 billion in food stamps right now. Every time Walmart does not pay you what you deserve, every time McDonald's does not give you that bonus or that raise, the taxpayer has to pay for it. If you're on food stamps, the taxpayer pays for food stamps. Walmart doesn't pay for that. McDonald's doesn't pay for that. You pay for that. Now, I know, all this stuff seems like bad, and it doesn't make a lot of sense. Like, okay, so he does a lot of bad stuff, so he's pointing out bad stuff. Well, if Hillary would have gotten in, I believe it would have been even worse. So, because of Hillary's experience, and that she knows the connections between the Republicans and Democrats, she would have done everything Donald Trump is doing, just sneakier. She would have done it under the radar. She wouldn't have been obviously dumb about pointing out the faults of our government because she's making a profit off of those faults in our government. Okay, for instance, Hillary would have kept wages stagnant. She also would not have voted for a minimum wage raise. That would not have been part of her, that would not have been what she was focusing on at all. She would have also continued the wars in the Middle East just like Donald Trump has, if not worse than Donald Trump. She would have done the war with North Korea. She would have kept her mouth shut. Would have kept deals with China. Also, I believe she would have started up the war on drugs again. I think she would have gotten on the side of Big Pharmacy, and she would start the war on drugs to incriminate all these opioid users and all the marijuana users. I think she would have cracked down on all the people who take pain pills illegally instead of helping the purpose or the sole reason. All Hillary Clinton wants to do is push down the little man while making her and her family and her foundation stinking filthy rich. So while yes, Donald Trump is bad, I feel like Hillary Clinton would have been worse because she does not expose the political process for as corrupt as it is. So, for summary, I feel like Donald Trump is good for America because he exposes the corruption that is American democracy. It is not a democracy. It is not a republic. We do not vote for who goes into office. Our opinion does not matter. It is an oligarchy. The rich corporations choose who they want to be in power, and then they pay them to be in power, and then the people that they put in power gives them all the tax breaks that they want. So, ultimately, no, Donald Trump sucks butthole. But he is at least exposing how broken American politics are. The answer from me would be to vote for Bernie Sanders in 2020. Bernie Sanders would like to make it to where big pharmaceuticals has reasonable priced medications, the same as Canada. He would like to cut big military spending and send American children to college and help pay off current college debt so Americans are smarter instead of just a small branch of American government being big and powerful. He would also like to go ahead and make the rich millionaires and billionaires pay more taxes so the middle class and lower class can have more money to contribute back to American communities. So my answer would be to vote for Bernie Sanders in 2020. So I hope you learned something. Leave a comment, like, subscribe. Hopefully this is one of many episodes. All in all, just remember, vote Bernie Sanders 2020.